I think the theme has been so far is about uncertainty, isn't it? Brexit, what does it mean? Have we even got a business in a few years' time? Can we continue to trade? Will we be able to work internationally? We just don't know. What we need to deal with is the stuff of certainty, that technology will continue to move forward, that we will continue to progress exponentially, because that is the path that we've witnessed for the last 60 years. Technology allows things that we thought always had to be the way they are, and suddenly they are no more. Businesses are less confident in their digital capability last year than they were the year before. Why? I think maybe this is a degree of reality creeping in where we start to realize, actually, I don't understand this stuff, I'm not confident. Or maybe it's a function of the technologies moving ahead and the humans are struggling to keep up with it. The simple answer for me always is not to start with, oh, what's the bit of technology I need to embrace and bring into my business, but actually to start with people. Because it's people that determine whether technology plays a valid role or not. What do people want? They want things speedily, they want it to do it easily, and they want it conveniently on their terms. But none of these things alone are going to give you any form of sustainable competitive advantage. They are nothing more than hygiene factors. These are just the basics that people expect today, tomorrow, and then expect it to get better after that. Digital disloyalty fuels change in organizations, and it also opens the door to the competitors that don't yet exist who want your lunch. There is incredible value in the grey hairs and the experience and the been there and done it. But it has to be fused with a desire to change. And that desire and that energy comes from the next range of workers in our businesses. The road ahead is very uncertain. We're not sure. It's certainly not as straight as this. There'll be some ups and downs and a few hairpins as well. But there are three choices that fundamentally come to mind for me. First off, you can deny. You can deny this change is taking place. I mean, that is quite a popular choice in many boardrooms that I go into. This whole internet thing, it's just a fad. It's just for kids. It'll blow over. Don't you worry about it. Keep doing things the way we've always done them. It is increasingly rare that I encounter this mindset, but if you find yourself considering it, that change is not real, then you might want to ask yourself some serious questions. If you find your boss saying it, you might want to challenge them, and you need to find a way for them to open their eyes. So denial. It's a choice, it's a sort of strategy, but good luck with that. Or you can digitize. You can take your business and you can say, you know what, our business is good, it's solid, it has a future, let's make it better, let's automate things, let's digitize, let's use technology to make things smoother. Yeah, we may end up losing some jobs, but we'll change them, we'll have data analysts, we'll have different people and so on. And that's absolutely where many organizations are going. They're saying, how can we do this in a digital way? But the third option is probably really where you need to set your mindset and your ambition. And that's to disrupt. And that's to say, just because things have always been this way, just because we sell products rather than renting them, doesn't mean we can only sell. There are opportunities that are possible through technology with, frankly, very, very often, very little effort that will allow you to disrupt entire modes of thinking, entire ways of being. And disruption is, of course, the thing that your competitors, your startups, the people that you don't even know exist, will be looking to do to you. For me, in boardrooms and in organizations that I work with around the world, the most important metric, I know we want to hit our sales targets, I know we want to get our profit and so on, is how much have we learned? That is the question that I ask more than any other. What do you know now that you didn't know a month ago? If someone cannot answer that question, they are clearly not challenging the way things are. They're clearly not doing things that allow them to learn. And maybe that's a question you could take back to your organizations and ask on a regular basis. What do we know now that we didn't know a month ago? Your experience has to be mobile friendly. When I say mobile, I mean it works on that device that people would not leave the house without, the smartphone. If a customer of yours only has a relationship with you when they walk through the doors, that is not enough. Is this experience that you've just put together, the way this seamless checkout works, or the way that you get faster delivery, whatever the thing is it so good that one of the first instincts your target audience would have is to talk about that with somebody else? Is it so good that instinctively they want somebody else to know about it? That is the gold standard when you're designing experiences. Does it spark instinctive, impulsive, contagious sharing? Because that is the currency of the digital web. That is how we hear about things. That is how we talk and share. So find the people in your organization, embrace them, unleash their ideas, empower them to make perpetual change, to constantly challenge the way things are and look for something better. And get excited by what's next. Don't put your hands in your hands and, oh, another new blooming thing I've got to learn. You have to find that inside you, that whatever is coming next is the thing that you're most excited about in your career to date.
You've talked a bit about how people can work internally within their own companies together, but what about the whole room as one, or the merchants together? How can they maybe all work together more effectively?
I think this is an extraordinary meeting that's taking place here, and I've seen all of the chairs that you're going to be sitting on and all of the 1,700 or so meetings that are going to take place. And you aren't going to do this on your own. I think there's a network, the Fortis network, then you've got you should be learning from each other and you should be working together to bring these ideas to the fore. But also you've got an opportunity really to work with the suppliers as well, as merchants and suppliers together, because it's your industry. And there's a very real risk if we go it alone, if we pull apart, then it is that race to the bottom that I described, where basically we're going to drag value out, because there will always be somebody else online who can do it a little bit cheaper, a little bit faster. That's the reality. So actually going it alone is a fairly suicidal pact. Working together, then I think you have a chance, because there's strength in that, and you can protect a category from the price erosion that would otherwise happen.
I mean, you cannot walk anywhere without seeing someone whose face is pretty much stuck to their phone. That's how the younger generation in particular are doing everything. What happens if we don't adapt to that?
I don't think you have a choice. Your relevance in the business world, your relevance in your organisation will evaporate. You know, it is, we say evaporate or innovate or evaporate. It's as simple as that. So you've got to recognise that these trends are here to stay. The fact that we walk around like this with mobile phones is something that, you know, get ready to laugh at it in the very near future, because we'll think it was preposterous that we had to carry around these blooming heavy things. They had a battery and you had to charge them up. Do you remember that? That's how quickly it will change. And so ride that roller coaster now. Embrace it for what it is. Keep an eye on the future and get excited about what's coming next, because it will blow all of our socks off.
Allister, you've informed, you've entertained. Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.